being a friend. Travel down the road and back again.
My
Your
jam.
heart is true. You're a pal and a confidant. For those of you that think that because of what I said on the Q&A session when I had Suni and Easy on, the rumors are not true. I did not have anything to do with the unfortunate passing of Betty White. Hey guys, welcome to Truth Will Set You Free. Please start sharing this out. If you haven't noticed, we've got a guest on that has been on for a couple weeks. We also are not on our YouTube channel. We are on our backup YouTube channel. So I'm going to go ahead, for those of you watching Facebook, I'm going to go ahead and put that, if you'd prefer to watch, on UTizzle. This is our backup page. Apparently, the Q&A was a little too controversial. We went a little Sunni, apparently, and it.
Isn't it fun being me though? Like for a day where you just get to say whatever you want. Isn't it fun?
Is that a
I
Sunni
thought it was
thing or is that a
me.
black thing?
I'm trying to do it every day.
You're funny. No, it's a Sunni thing. Because most
I
black
said,
people are scared to say
I
what I
don't,
say
I don't
too.
know if we're not using words or not using words. I don't know. I thought it was me. I told Anthony. I said, listen, it's me. It's I don't know.
Oh, this is hilarious. We have a whopping 14 people watching. This is funny.
Woo!
All right.
Hey,
We
I'll
need
let you borrow my audience if you want.
because you can't talk to me. Because of if you guys could do us a huge favor, because of the fact we cannot be on our usual YouTube page, please share this on Facebook. We'll watch it on there. I know a lot of you guys aren't going to see it. Hopefully the YouTube algorithm will kick in. If you start just commenting random things like, if you miss Betty White, go ahead and click 1, or thank you for being a friend, whatever you want to put in the comment box. Hit the like button, hit the share. Shout out to my Golden Girls from back in the original days of the Be the Change shows. Thank you for being a friend. That was from Kelly Harder, Elizabeth, and some other people. So anyways,
Is that coffee?
it's water.
Oh, damn. I was about to get really jealous. I'm going to go get a coffee after the show.
It is 8 p.m. here. It would be weird. Yeah.
I drink coffee late at
I
night.
drink coffee that late.
I do too, actually.
Oh, my gosh. Okay.
Easy is pulling his best Sunni impression right now. He's talking into dead air.
Black coffee at the diner at midnight after a drink or two.
It's fun.
That's weird. The first thing
is
that
nice.
all of a sudden Easy got unmuted, it was like black.
That is the first thing I heard.
Yeah. All right. The algorithm's kicking in. I love it. The show today, you know what? Let's just do the countdown. The show's going to be good. I'll tell you what it is. Let's get the party started. It's time for Truth Will Set You Free, episode number 81. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. Episode number 81 of Truth Will Set You Free. Welcome to 2022. We're going to talk a little bit about Joe Rogan now topping or doubling or tripling all of the other mainstream networks. What does this mean for the world of information, mainstream media, etc.? We're going to talk about the police officer in Los Angeles that inadvertently shot a girl during a tense situation and killed her in the dressing room. Briefly talk about the Supreme Court mandate that is going to be being discussed on the 7th of January. Well, we've already talked about Betty White, rest in peace. And then but maybe we'll clear up some rumors to what we know about the jab. And then the nurses and doctors that are now going to work with COVID. Yep, that's real life. With that said, let's go ahead and start the show. I think we got more to talk about as well. We've got some great guests. We've got our typical crew, and now Mo, who has now been on, I think, 3 weeks in a row. Mo, welcome to the show. I'll let you take it from here and introduce yourself if we've got a new group.
Well, for those of you guys who don't know me, who haven't been watching the show, I don't know what your problem is, but you should be watching the show every Tuesday. My name is Monique. They call me Mo. Social media is Let's Talk Darling across everything. So it's super simple. So make sure you follow me there as well. And I think that's it. I hope to be like a regular guest all the time. Is this like a formal? Am I just inviting myself?
I think we need a little bit more feminine energy. Suni's a little too masculine, so we gotta put it all together.
What?
I'm kidding, Suni. Calm down. Calm down.
See, I
Look,
was
you can invite yourself as
feminine
often as you
energy.
want.
I was taking it super personal, and I was being a girl.
Repeal the
You can invite yourself whenever you want.
He said repeal the 19th.
I didn't say
love
that.
that you're
No,
saying
no,
this now.
I did not say that. I did not say that. I'm kidding. Kevin, and let's really quick, obviously, give a shout out. Kevin will be in Dallas this week for the Great American Summit, but he will not be making it tonight. Very busy week, just like all of us have had. And we're going to try to keep this show to an hour. So stay on with us, stay tight, stay compact. We're going to kick the tires and light the fires. With that said, Casey will not be making the show tonight. He had some family stuff come up. His also on top of a myriad of illnesses in his household, his aunt passed away this week, and he actually will also not be making it to Texas. Super unfortunate. I can't tell you how excited I was to get to meet everybody at once, minus of course Suni because she lives in Japan. But unfortunately, please send Casey some love, send some prayers, send some notes. He's going through a really tough time. He wanted to go regardless, but again, it's what we do on these shows and what we're doing for our country, or what we think we are doing, is to make sure that we are stronger as families, as friends, and he's being there for his family, and that's awesome. So that's what it is. So Casey, I hope you're watching. You're getting some condolences in the comment box. So. Easy. Do the shameless plug.
So everybody needs to go and hit the store, awakenotwokestore.com. And you need to use Omicron. That will get you 20% off on
Are we
products.
back doing it? I think it's just Awake right now. I think it's just.
Is it just Awake?
You missed a bit, Eric. You've missed a bit.
Easy.
And to be fair, Omicron is kind of, it's in the rear view at this point. So
yeah, because there's a new variant. Did you guys know?
Yeah, the Paris variant, right?
No, it's called
Ilhu.
Yeah, what is it? Iku, Ihu, I don't know.
Is that a poem
whatever.
with like 5 syllables, 7 syllables? Is that? Oh, that's a haiku. Okay.
How do they name these things? Is it like how they name tornadoes? I don't understand how they're coming up with these names.
Well, they skipped Z. Because they're doing it with whatever those are, Greek lettering, but they skipped Z because they thought that this is honest God truth. They did not want it to be, since it's the Chinese virus, they did not want it to be deemed racist, so they got rid of it. So
so G would have been the next letter, and they just straight over to Omicron. So
Yikes.
yeah. So as we've said, guys, so a couple things. I'm going to repeat it. If you prefer to watch on YouTube and you're wondering why we are not on YouTube, it's because we got a YouTube ban from Q&A. So if you watch Q&A, you know why. Whatever. Welcome to the world.
We don't know why.
Did you actually? I'm going to stop. Did you know? Because I was watching more of the Dr. Malone Rogan podcast, which we're going to talk a little bit about. Did you know that the fact checkers for Twitter are run by Reuters? Reuters people has the high ups has a controlling interest in Pfizer. So the same people fact checking that are in charge. I mean, Facebook has multiple groups, but Twitter is 100% fact checked by Reuters. And yeah. So anyways,
Wow.
how
you remember the part where he's like, "Hey, a guy got removed because the fact checker said, well, he is anti-vax. So bye-bye." I was like, what the fuck? Jesus. How is this legal? How? Like, how do you... And I don't understand how they're still able to do this, knowing these people have an extremely, implicit bias. How on God's green earth are you employed, and why is this legal? This needs to go to the Supreme Court. I'm sorry. It seems a bit extra and drastic, but at this point, I don't think so.
So, Suni, I said this a couple weeks ago. I said that this goes above and beyond censorship. But you said it's a private platform. You need to create your own platform.
Oh, I think look, I'm not saying that they can't do what they want on their platforms, but as Americans, we have rights as well. And this is taking away your First Amendment right.
So who would fight for that? Who would fight for that right?
We would.
Hey, we can't, like, it has to
Why can't
actually,
we?
the government actually has to fight against the big companies, the big monopolies, which is exactly when Tweedledee rage quit on me the other day when I said that. I said the
Bruh,
government
hold
has
up,
to be the
hold
one.
up.
Wait.
See, we're all friends, right?
Yeah,
You're my friend and Tyler's my friend.
Tyler.
I
okay.
can't. We're friends. Look, I'm not disagreeing with you. I still think these companies have every right to do what they want, because if I had a social media platform and I didn't want shit on there, just like I don't think everybody should have to hire a black person, I think you should have rights to say no. No, but it's going overkill now because it's not fact, it's opinion. So just because my opinion differs from your opinion doesn't mean you get to just completely obliterate me from social media. Now, if I'm just
True.
only just putting bullshit online, then okay, kick me off.
Yeah. No, I get you. I was just bringing up a point because I feel like, but anyways, I didn't mean to call him Tweedledee. I couldn't remember his name off the top of my head. So before we really get the show started, last two things, since we cannot do anything on any platform right now, and this is going to be, and Easy will tell you, we're meeting this week. We're going to find a way to not avoid platforms. I don't want to sound like Cash, because Cash was always like, I'm done with Facebook. This, and then next week he's got 100,000 more followers, but we got to find a way to continue to create this moving forward. So I don't know what kind of platform we're going to shift to, how we're going to do it. It'll still obviously be Facebook.
Getter.
But we maybe, I heard Getter is actually growing, even though I avoided it. So we are going to figure out something. So please make sure you at least go to #BeTheChange.com. Follow us there. Oh, if you're a Patreon, you'll know as well. It takes $5 a month, and please support what we're doing. It doesn't take much to at least chip away. Easy's got something to say.
Yeah, I was just gonna add. We put a lot of content out for you guys. We put out shirts and clothes and messages. As we make this transition, some of these platforms charge us. YouTube is not one of those platforms, and so I'm just gonna shamelessly ask, if you like our content, you like what we're doing, and you'd like to be able to see us be a little more uncensored. As we're making this shift, we're going to have to make some financial decisions in order to do that. So I'm just going to tell our audience, and I'm going to let you guys know, whatever you can do to help as we make those transitions. We'll be very transparent with you, but if you can do $1 a month, if you can do $5, if you can do 10 cents, a lot of that stuff will help us get to a platform where we can be more open, more consistent in the way that we're able to speak. And it will give us a whole lot more runway as far as opportunity to be uncensored. So I'm just throwing that out there because some of these platforms charge, a premium for us to be on there. So I'm one that doesn't mind asking you guys as a crowd, saying, hey, keep us in business, keep helping us, keep doing what you're doing, buy some clothes. That certainly helps. That's a one way that we do this, but another one is if you can and you can find it in your heart as we're transitioning platforms and finding new homes, just be aware some of those costs are difficult. So
Hey, Eric, we're trying to keep the show under an hour, just so you know. We are trying to keep the show
do what you can.
Jesus.
Do what you can for us.
If you were a guy begging on the side of the street, they would have walked by you, been like, this guy.
Listen, my sign says.
Say something right quick.
My sign says, we'll smoke weed.
Hey, so I grew up in people who grew up in a black church. Okay, if you grew up in a black church or a Baptist church, you're gonna know what I'm saying right now. You put me back at 8 years old, sitting in the pew after we just gave offering, and the pastor comes back on the stage and he's like, you know what? We need some money for the building fund. So if you could, if it's 10 cents, if it's $1, if you just want to pull out the lint from your pocket.
Oh my God, that's great.
Oh my gosh, you reminded me of that. Oh,
all right, so last
hilarious.
but not least, the Great American
Amen.
Summit. If you guys have not bought your tickets yet, here's the link. Please, we're actually really starting to sell some tickets. We're looking forward to having a great event. Again, you're going to see a lot of us there. Mo should at least be there on Saturday, possibly even Friday. And then, as always, you can always help us for free by checking out our podcast. So #BeTheChange.com.
Can Mo just walk around with my face on some merch and some weird shit on the back? Not even my face. Can she get a Make America Think Again shirt?
Not in 2 days.
Just bring. Why don't you just bring
Well-
it to the thing, and I'll just put it on
it's
there.
all but it's on Shopify.
I don't know that we have
Oh,
one.
gotcha.
That is right.
Yeah.
Never mind. I don't know
We'll
why.
see.
I
We
was
kind
thinking
of
that
ordered
shirt.
ahead of time.
I'll see what we have. I might
See.
actually have a hoodie that's too big. You could wear it rock like an oversized hoodie thing.
Awesome.
I don't know. Well, I'll bring it because it doesn't fit me. It's a little too small.
Okay.
Let's see. What was last? There was something else I was going to say. So we got that. Oh, and somebody asked about Rumble. I've put the Rumble in there. I upload our Rumbles, and we probably will be live streaming to those potentially at one point soon. And that is right there in the comment box. Let's start the show. I want to start with some comedy. I cannot wait. Actually, I want to move my screen because I want to see Suni's reaction to a Facebook conversation I had. So that it makes it, I'm trying so hard to be in the middle on this stuff. So a guy I know posted, all he did was post Dr. Robert Malone, MD, on Joe Rogan podcast, #educate yourself. Cool. All the comments, what was it about? Oh, I saw it, most downloaded episode ever. And then this gentleman, Menu Deleteria Tonotin, says,
Wow.
if he's not eating a 100% plant-based, then I don't really see why I should listen. If he's not telling people to prevent cardiovascular disease and diabetes, two of the most vulnerable populations of COVID, then there's only so much he can actually recommend to protect people. There are way too many facts to acknowledge when it comes to reaching optimal immunity levels. Like, are humans eating enough mushrooms on a daily basis? Probably not. Would it help with a lot of social problems in general? Most definitely. Anyways, people commented it's worth listening, and somebody's like 100% plant-based does not work for everyone. People are like plant-based,
the jabs don't work for everyone.
Right. So it's just, whatever. And then somebody else is like, in a perfect world, we might be, corrupted. All these different things. So I responded with my own, because I went very plant-based for a period of time, and I actually have testosterone level, which is low. So I said, plant-based is great, or so I thought. I was mostly plant-based for a year, and once I got off it, the processed crap from the meat alternative strongly affected my testosterone. Research it, very common. So unless you do plant-based 100%, letter of the law, no soy alternatives, no processed fake stuff, as a male, you're asking for long-term issues. Do you want to hear the reply, Suni? This is just for you. You ready?
Okay.
And I'm going to change my voice now because Manu says, Anthony Russo, I'm not really worried about my testosterone since I don't identify as a male anymore. And I'm not ever going to have children either.
Oh my God.
My response, well, I'm out of this conversation, LOL, and throws paper in the air.
Why did she tag
First
me? I've
of
been
all,
like,
the
so
voice,
what the fuck are
that
you?
was everything. That voice was everything.
Ew, what do you mean I don't identify as a... Then change your name on social media. Shit, because that sounds like a whole man name. And what? And why was that any of my business or anybody else's business on social media? Like, if you don't want to have a plant or you want to have a plant-based diet, then have that. But like, how did the two correlate? Like, how did you mix gender and then a whole diet into one? That's weird. And you don't want to listen to a doctor who's actually giving good information about a jab?
I won't listen. I won't listen to this. I won't listen. It doesn't have to do with plant-based.
Hey.
There it is.
Wow.
This is why, and people are going to get upset, but this is why I say, instead of celebrating them and their, I'm coming out and I'm brave enough to do this. Just tell these people the truth. Like, listen, you need to go seek some counseling, and I will hold your hand if you need me to, because for somebody to feel comfortable to say that online, that shit's weird. That's weird.
I'm so confused though. Just because you don't identify as a male, now your testosterone doesn't matter. Like, I'm confused. Does your dick just go to the wayside after that? Like, when you just identify as something else?
Hey, he tucks, okay? He folds and tucks.
You need to stop. You need to stop making fun of me. Otherwise, I will slap you over the head with a soy Rizzo.
Can I see his picture?
I know. Let's see. I want to see his picture, please.
I just threw it up.
You can send it to me privately.
All right, I'll do it.
Okay, and I won't pull it up, but I just want to see.
His name is Manu. Hello.
This is public. He put it on there. You can share his picture. I want to see.
I am not worried about my testosterone. It does not matter to me.
I don't identify as a man. Oh.
I am a they. I am non-binary because I've had so much soy since I was little boy. That's going to be a new character on the show, I think.
Oh,
That's the new soy boy character.
Anthony Soy Boy. Yeah, there you go. That's pretty great.
I want you to know a little secret. I identify as a Joe Biden voter.
Oh,
Yo, you sound like what's his name? What is
Fez,
his name?
Fez from
Yes, you
yeah.
sound like Fez from that 70s show.
Mind blown. Total segue. Girl I went to high school with, married to him, just had his kid.
Huh?
what? Married to who?
the
Manu?
dude you're talking
Wilbur
about?
Valderella or whatever his name is.
Oh,
A girl I went to high
okay.
school with.
I was
She just
about to
had
say
his kid.
that's really convenient that Manu just had a kid and decided to then like
what?
Was that before
You
or
better
after
be-
his
you-
testosterone?
Listen though,
That was
Russo,
some-
you better be careful because every celebrity you talk about,
I know they could.
Dirt nap.
Actually, no, that's not a joke. Kelly actually said, I forgot a week before we saw a tribute thing about like the legacy of Joe Madden or John Madden.
John.
And John Madden. And I literally was like, is he still alive? And we checked. We're like, oh, he's still alive. And I totally forgot about that. So I was 2 for 2 on those big ones.
Don't ever say my name. Just
No,
stay
we're
away
good.
from me.
right?
So anyways,
Nice.
I wonder if Manu knows this guy. I remember Joe from the early days of the show. Because maybe Manu likes a little of semen. Okay, done.
Oh
I am
my God.
done.
Ah.
Moving on. All right, let's talk about our
Ugh.
first topic. Let's talk about the first topic. Let's go with Joe Rogan. All right. Dr. Malone's episode got 40 million views. He's averaging right now 11 million views, which I think Tucker Carlson is at about 5 million. I mean, you look at what's happened to us. We have a measly amount of 4,000 YouTube followers. We've been admittedly squashed by Facebook. We're nobodies. The YouTube ban is something for us because medical misinformation. How important is it to see the Spotifys of the world, the Joe Rogans of the world speaking truth? Suni, go ahead.
It's important. It's important because people that don't watch us, they need somebody that they actually enjoy, not even enjoy watching, but a lot of people look up to him because he just started a podcast out of nowhere and it blew the fuck up. And he has these conversations. And what makes it even better is he was extremely critical of Trump, the right, politics, everything else. He's like a diehard liberal on a lot of these issues. And he was really into the whole COVID thing at first, wearing masks. And then he woke up. So I think he is extremely important to this entire movement of enlightenment and people not being afraid to speak out, because you see a guy who was on the other side of the spectrum as you, and you can relate to it more.
Yeah.
It's kind of like, it doesn't matter who it's coming from. If it doesn't come from the right person who can speak to a wide range of people, then they're not going to receive it.
Yeah. I feel like he really is just a super authentic person when he interviews. I mean, I was looking here at the numbers. He's at 11 million and Tucker is at 3.24. So he is killing him right now. And I think it's just because Joe is just a real guy. Like Suni said, I mean, he goes back, you know, he's gone back on a few things, just like all of us have. You know, I kind of feel like he moves with the people, whereas Tucker moves with whatever Fox tells him to move with, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And Joe has this amazing ability to just really connect with whoever he's interviewing, and he interviews all different kinds of people. He doesn't just stick to like one different, you know, one type of thing and one, you know, subject. He talks to everybody. And when he's talking, it's like you're just sitting there with your buddy type of conversation, you know, which I think is what's really appealing to, you know, to his viewers. So that's
Joe Rogan is the everyman. He is a guy you could sit in a corner with at the restaurant and have a long conversation. He's the guy who's the life of the room. I mean, in reality, you know, I think one of the things that makes him so successful is that, you know, unlike what Suni said, he leaned a little left, but he is independent. He is the exact type of person that critically thinks, that doesn't just take everything on face. Is he somebody that, I mean, he supported Bernie at one point. He, you know, supported a whole host of different candidates. one of the things that motivated me to get the heck out of California was him getting the heck out of California and explaining, like, I can't do this because it's becoming a nightmare place. It's becoming a place where you scratch the paint and all of a sudden you realize everything is rusted underneath. And so, I'll just point out, like, he is a person who is independent, in the middle, and ultimately, I think what Mo and Suni said, he has every conversation, and he's not afraid of one side versus the other. And I think he extrapolates great facts.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he's a master of his craft, and there's a couple celebrities that started podcasts. I think Dax Shepard. He has one of the most listened to podcasts, and he talks about how he's not very good at it. And he goes, I've gotten better. Joe Rogan is what one would say the best interviewer on the podcast platform that there can be. He's able to have conversation with people that are at a much higher level of medicine. He knows the questions to ask. He knows how to listen. He also knows how to, and I said this about the Sanjay Gupta interview, he knows how to break down his guest.
Yes.
I've talked about this on this show. I watched that for 45 minutes and I was like, son of a bitch, Joe, get him. Would you go after him? What are you doing? He magically lulled Sanjay Gupta to sleep. It was phenomenal. His ability as an interviewer, and then he just laid the hammer down because he does. He brings a shit ton of facts, and he's just phenomenal at what he does. So I think it's important, but from a grander scheme, people talk about 2021, 2022. Is this going to be the year where we just self-destruct and it goes even further than it already is? Or is this the Great Awakening? And the fact that we have 40 million people at least hearing the information, whether they're in their echo chamber or out of their echo chamber, I think is probably one of the most positive things I've heard in a long time, personally.
Yep. Agreed.
I agree too.
Yeah.
I think one of the other things that's really important is he's not just the only person that benefits from this. Like, he has brought so many people into a new world and a new age of information that one of the things that I'll kind of harken back to what we started with, which was Section 230 and whether or not the social media conglomerates should have this kind of power. He is flying in the face of his contract. Like, one of the things that he went over to Spotify with was a gigantic $100 million contract, and they started censoring and going through all of his old podcasts, deleting stuff. And he said, that's a done, like, you cannot do that. If you do that, I will leave the platform. I will leave the money. And I think that he's an important example. When you stick to your guns and you say, sorry, it's not going to be that way. He ultimately succeeded, and now he has given platform to people not dissimilar to us in order to combat what is the biggest narrative flying around the universe right now.
The bigger he gets, the better, because at this point, there is no chance in hell Spotify can pull him anymore. There's no way, because right now he can easily start his own. He can start his own Spotify. Like people will pay $10 a month for him. Can you imagine 40 million people at $10? I mean, just think about the amount of money he could make on his own. So they can't pull him. And I find it fascinating that if you think of the ad revenue that he would make, because they've pulled the last 3 episodes, the Abramson, the Malone, and the McCullough, they have pulled it from YouTube. How much money YouTube is willing to turn down in ad revenue by these hundreds of millions of views because somebody is telling them that they can't play what is some of the greatest doctors. McCullough, for example, has more literature published under his name than any doctor in history. Mm-hmm. And they're not allowing these to air, and they don't care about the ad revenue. They have to be getting funding in replacement of this. They're not doing it out of their kindness of their heart. Let's be very clear.
For sure.
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. I think one of Joe's greatest qualities, when I think about really great interviewers, and Oprah is somebody that I used to love to watch Oprah interview people. And I said this to Suni the other day, but she has this amazing ability to really push people to the edge, right? But
Mhm.
she does that because she listens, and she goes at her interviews being inquisitive, right? Just like we are. Instead of going in and going like, okay, I know more than you, I'm going to take this interview where I wanted to go. She allows the interview to develop, and Joe does that. And that's how he's able, like, before they know it, like they've said more than they probably wanted to say,
Yep.
because he just puts them at ease. And I think that, like, we are lacking great interviewers like that. You know, like when we looked at not that Candace is a bad person, but when we looked at the Trump and Candace interview, I was like, come on. Like, you could have
Mhm.
pushed him a hell of a lot more, and you would have been a superstar for it, but you didn't
Yep.
because you were afraid to go there.
You ever
And
watch
he's
Stu
not.
Peters?
Who?
I
Stu
can't
Peters?
watch him.
He's
I
a
haven't.
lot.
I
He is
can't
a
watch
lot.
him.
But I think he's, so here's the thing. He's the opposite. He beats you down. He beats his guests down. But the thing is, most of his guests are a little too far to one side. But when he has somebody somewhere that is just a conservative on the air, he gets them to say things that they're like, oh shit, I'm going to get in trouble for that. So he has kind of he doesn't lull anybody to sleep. He beats them into submission. So it's just a different style. And I agree. And I'm going to open a can of worms about Oprah on this one, because this is not part of the show. I used to love Oprah too. I think her story is one of the best stories, etc. I think there's some great things. Do you know when Oprah lost me? Any
When?
guesses?
Well, what year?
Ooh, it would have been probably 2015-ish, I guess.
Mhm.
She
Obama years.
compared the death of Emmett Till to Trayvon Martin.
Wow, I didn't even hear her do
I didn't know
that.
that.
Now that you bring that up, I'm going to talk about that. That's crazy.
I mean, Trayvon's got issue. Like there's of course, all these different issues with it, but to compare
Right.
Emmett Till, a boy
That's
that looked at a
insanity.
white woman and just killed and sank to the bottom of a pond, to Trayvon Martin, who is kind of a hood rat and a shitty situation and all these different things, doesn't mean he was justified to kill him, etc. But to compare the two, like, come the fuck on, man.
Yeah, I don't know what happened. It was around that same time for me too, because she used to have such great content, and she would talk about everything, and she would bring so much light and knowledge to things, that really mattered, racism, all kinds of stuff, colorism, all kinds of stuff that she would talk about, that I was just like, wow, look how many people she's reaching. And then all of a sudden her topics became like she had an agenda,
Right.
you know?
And you know what the fucked up agenda is? Sorry, Nancy. The fucked up agenda is the fact that this is a
I thought
woman.
it was Barbara.
No, it's Nancy, that came from nothing. She came from nothing and then was
Self-made.
turned down for jobs, and she made it. She became a billion-dollar empire. And instead of empowering people to do the same, she tells people of color, minorities, that the system is unfair against them and they have no chance in the current system, instead of helping people to get to where she is. Like, it's
She's
Now
the
she
LeBron
does.
James of women.
She didn't used to be like that, though. I don't know
I
why
know.
she changed.
I know.
Well,
Anyways,
she's the LeBron James of women.
it could
She clearly has succeeded, has a roadmap to do so, could have shared it with people, could have fortified that, could have given that opportunity to many, and instead wants to talk about oppression.
Yeah. All right.
No.
Joe Rogan, done. You're the man. Keep doing what you're doing. Make sure, if you haven't watched, listen to the Dr. Malone. Dr. Malone's voice is a little soothing, so if you're tired, don't watch it. I actually enjoyed his speaking a little bit better than, he's less egocentric, less egotistical than McCullough. So I think you guys might enjoy that one. Watch it on Spotify. Let's really quick with Betty White. There is a lot of rumors going around that she was boosted 2 days before. Let's play a little game called Stop Making Shit Up that we can't actually corroborate.
Allegedly.
It's all
not
alleged.
Just that, but she was like 100. Like,
She was
is it not
99,
enough,
dude?
I mean, is it not enough to be that old and just die? You know what I mean? Like, we have to now put it around a booster shot or COVID. Not everything is related to that. I feel like it takes away from what a great life she led, what a great lesson people should learn from her life, to just focus on why she died. Like, she was 99. She died of old age. That's what it is.
Look, that's what happens. You live and then you die.
That's what old people do. They die.
They die.
It is. You know, it is. So this to me, it's like I have I used to play baseball, so I'm superstitious. Why the hell would people, instead of waiting until she turns 100, they've already created the cover, they've already did the article. Betty
Right.
White turns 100 years old. Like, I get it if somebody's 50, but you're gonna literally jinx a woman about it. Like, yeah, she's in great health. We didn't think anything would. You can't jinx a 100-year-old like that, man. Come on. I blame it on them.
It was you who spread the rumor, bud.
It was you.
I'm telling
You
you.
remember that episode where
He's
you
trying
kept
to
talking
he's
about
trying
Betty?
To shift blame. He's shifting the blame now.
It's Russo's fault,
It's gotta
guys.
be
He
people.
took
I should
Betty.
play the
Gone too soon. Betty White, rest
Gone
in
too
peace.
soon. I'll play
Gone
that clip
too
at the
soon.
end. And Kelly, if you're not my Kelly, but Kelly Harder, if you're watching, and you weren't in the beginning, I'm rocking our mug right now just for that. What is this article that Christine sent? Talking about
I don't know.
Oprah lost $117 million in 2016 with Weight Watchers.
But she didn't lose the weight.
She was on a Weight Watchers commercials, wasn't she?
She owned She bought Weight Watchers.
Yeah, I mean,
Yo,
I forget about all these
there.
things, man. I forgot about Weight Watchers. That was on TV every fucking where all the
Dude,
time.
Yeah,
Weight Watchers
her
was
jam.
the jam.
Weight Watchers
her
was
jam.
probably more popular than my uncle's Tybo. Swear to
Every
God.
strip mall.
Wow.
Every strip mall had it.
I'm just looking to see what it was. I don't know. She just
Hey,
lost.
do you want a fun fact? People do this to me all the time. I probably got like 100 messages of like random people finding my uncle or being like finding old tapes they have, and they'll take a picture and be like, "Look, I do Tybo," and I'm like, I don't really
Who
care
cares? They're like shadow boxing. They're like,
I even had people tag me. I'm like, it's not my tape. Shit, I don't benefit from that money. I just got the last name. I don't get nothing else from it.
Do you know? I don't get a blank check out of it. It's not the Blanks Check Foundation. Come on. All right. Let's see what we got. We're gonna go ahead and play this. Since we're demonetized, I'm gonna play it because screw it. This is thank you to what is this? NBC.
Looks like NBC.
So NBC, we're going to use this. So this is the story of the 14-year-old that was inadvertently killed by police calls. I'm sorry, by police. So the family.
It's like, what?
She was called by a police call. I mean, I swear, by the time 2026 is with us, if we continue this route, somebody's gonna be like, "I got called by the police and I died of a heart attack, and I'm suing the city." That's it. I guarantee you,
Because I had COVID and Omarion and Ihu.
I called the police. And they came to my house, and I died.
Manu.
I died. This police officer showed up. He was wearing tight pants. I died. Okay. All right. Let's play this.
And killed a 14-year-old girl hiding unseen in a dressing room and being held by her mother. We do want to warn you, some of the video is disturbing. Emily Ikeda has more.
Valentina life matters.
A growing outcry for justice.
Never should this 14-year-old little girl ended up as collateral damage.
After a 14-year-old was inadvertently shot and killed by police.
How does Ben Crump get there so damn fast on every
He
single
pops
one of
up,
these?
like out of a crack in the sidewalk. Seriously.
I mean, it's like, and at first I was like, oh, it's every so often he finds a white family. Every so often he finds he is a grifter. Every so often he finds a white family, but this one actually was Latino or Latina, whatever.
Well, that's why they're there. These are brown people.
Right, but either way, it's like, how do you just? This guy is dead set on ending the police system the way we know it, and not just the bad parts. But anyways, I'll continue.
Are we gonna? Is that it? Was it
No,
over?
we're gonna go a lot more. It's 2 minutes. Yep.
Okay.
We're pursuing an assault suspect at a North Hollywood store. Valentina Orellana Peralta died in her mother's arms while dress shopping just 2 days before Christmas. Heartbroken parents mourning their loss. The Los Angeles Police Department releasing body cam and store security video this week, revealing the tense moments before the shooting.
He's breaking things.
The suspect with a bike and heavy-duty cable lock seen acting strangely inside a Burlington store last week before attacking several women. A frantic evacuation.
Evacuate the building.
911 calls capturing the chaos and conflicting reports of what weapon the man was carrying. One victim brutally beaten, a trail of blood leading police officers to her.
Victim down! Victim down!
As they moved in, repeated calls among the force to slow down.
So I want to stop there real quick because they're talking about them saying slow down. That's not the police saying slow down. That's how they that's how they communicate with each other so everybody can stay together. They make it seem like the police officer wasn't listening to the other police officer's orders. They were just trying to stay in formation. So again, automatically NBC is trying to make it seem like a police officer is being overzealous. We're almost done, and then we'll talk about it. Hold on.
Yeah.
And then 3 shots. An officer striking the suspect, 24-year-old Daniel Elena Lopez. But police say one of the bullets ricocheted off the ground and pierced a wall.
Unbeknownst to the officers, a 14-year-old girl was in the changing room behind a wall.
The tragedy calling police tactics into question.
These officers that went inside the Burlington Coat Factory were faced with what we call some of the characteristics of a crisis, which are uncertainty. They're making decisions based on confusing, ambiguous, and sometimes even conflicting information.
A multi-agency investigation is underway, and authorities say it will take months. In the meantime, the police officer who fired the fatal shots has been placed on administrative leave.
All right, what do you guys think?
Well, first of all, we need to let the investigation take place because, I think that we jump too quick to make any type of judgments on stuff. But I watched a couple of different videos of, on this situation, and the caller who called in said that he was assaulting people or something like that. But then they also had reports, which he was. They saw the video of him hitting people with a bike chain. But then they also had reports of shots fired. So I think people need to understand that when police officers are going in, number one, we don't know what information they all received going in there. We don't know what the store was doing protocol wise to evacuate, to make sure that, customers were safe. Did these people in the dressing room hear the warnings? I don't know.
Yeah.
But I think this is going to be like an accidental homicide type of thing, because I don't think every situation can be perfect. They didn't know if this guy had a gun. And, their job is to go in there and neutralize the threat. So
hey, I'm just going to, I can't even disagree with what you said. There's no reason for me to echo what you just said. Wait for the investigation to complete and then give your opinions, assumptions, however you feel about it. But I'm going to attack the media because they went ahead and released a really nice photo of the officer who tragically shot somebody on accident because a bullet ricocheted. And they couldn't help but say, and I'm gonna pull it up. This they can't help themselves, man. I hope people actually see through the BS when it comes to this. All right, this is the officer that tragically shot her, of course. Okay, so they have a very nice section here about who he is, his history, how long he's been an officer, and they couldn't help but. He also championed the Black Lives Matter movement and repeatedly called for change throughout the police force. You want to know what else he did? Oh, they put his quote out. He tweeted this in August 2021. I am a Black man, the father of a Black son, and I've been a victim of racism. They can't help but bring this narrative right back up.
And that has
so because he is
anything.
A Black officer that shot a brown person, we're not going to have BLM in the streets protesting and going nuts. This is the media. Now, more people are going to read The Sun than they are going to sit here and look at this NBC video.
Fact.
What? Like, for what? This has nothing to do with him being Black. It has nothing to do with BLM.
Do you think that was their way?
Accident.
So I agree with you guys on, and I'll go more into it with the fact that, everything Mo said was correct. But when it comes to an article like that, I think it's interesting. That seems like it's almost trying to diffuse riots. And even though it's, who cares? I don't need to know if he's Black. I don't need to know about. But do you think that was their way? Because honestly, everything else from the media is to blow things up. This actually seems like it was trying to calm things down.
No, in my
I don't think
personal
so.
opinion, no. Because once people see, okay, the officer's black, most black folks aren't going to react. That's just how it is. It's not a story. It's not polarizing because it's not a white officer. This story is, notice, you don't have every political pundit speaking about it. You don't have every conservative even on this story because there's no story there. They're fanning the flames.
I don't think they're going to make it about race at all. In fact, I think it's probably going to be another gun control issue because, you know, when I was reading a lot of the topics, it was around a lot of the comments on some of the videos. People were like, well, why did he have to go in with the AR? Why couldn't they use this weapon? Why couldn't they use hollow points? All this type of stuff. And, you know, I think that that's what they're headed towards. I don't think this is going to be about race at all. Let me find out that the dude that was swinging the chain was an illegal immigrant that was let into this country, or let me find out he was let out of jail because of COVID. It's going to be a problem. Okay?
What's his name? I want to look into
something Sanchez, girl. Something Sanchez. Okay?
So go ahead. I'll wrap.
I was just Lopez. I think that the narrative, right? It doesn't fit. So now they have to choose a different narrative, which I agree with Mo. I think this is going to be a gun control conversation, right? Which is, well, the AR-15 is too powerful even for the police. It really is, right? Like, the AR-15 is a polarizing gun for a multitude of reasons. But this is we already are seeing the military being robbed of a lot of their manlyhood, their fighting power, their ability to go in and rectify situations effectively. Now, the Supreme Court, I will say, did just uphold the SEALs' rights to specifically not get the jab if they don't want to, which is, I think that's a good indication of where they're at mentally. But at the same time, they're the only fighting force in the world that does what they do. And so they may be the exception and not the rule. And so one of the things that I think Mo's talked about that I think is extremely astute, which is they want AR-15s out of the hands of everyone. Anyone in this country who has an AR-15, whether you're police or not, I think, at least that's my perspective, is they just want them gone. It's a black scary gun. You know, a lot of people think it's an assault rifle. You know, you pick up a bat, that's an assault bat. I don't know what to tell you, but it is one of those things where I do think they're going to have to, you know, they will find narrative. And since it's not racial, it's got to be gun control. Yeah.
So I'm looking at this from a perspective of lack of information across the board, like Mo said, and it's mind-boggling that there is nothing that could change with this situation except for the elephant in the room, which is a asshole fucking criminal that nobody is talking about. The reason this girl is dead is because this guy who maybe had I don't really know. He beat the shit out of a woman. He was the fact that they reported that he was beating women. And a cop that came with a bunch of cops come to save the day. And might I add, it was alleged that they reported an active shooter. So if you're reporting an active shooter, and if you want a cop to bring a pistol in an active shooter situation, probably not. So you've got a long rifle and you've got something that's going to have much more tactical precision. People that think that a police officer is carrying hollow points would be shocking. Like, I don't know of any police officers that don't carry. There's no reason they're going to have range bullets in their gun. So he's going to have probably hollow points. So it was a ricochet off the ground. It was it was a incredibly unfortunate event. I am so sorry for her family. It's horrific. But there is nothing that could have changed in this scenario except for the fact that we need to start placing blame on criminals. Now,
if this dork wasn't doing what he's doing.
This is the graduated. You know what this is? This is the graduated place, because this is California, where in a lot of places they're letting people rob, they're letting people steal up to a certain amount of money. And now when you have lawless behavior, there is no bounds on where it stops. So this guy looks like he probably had some mental issues. And the next thing he knows, did he deserve to die? At that point, if you're a threat, you don't know what's going on. Shit happens.
Hey, you're the one who looked up the definition of deserve. I don't know if you remember this, but you were like, hey, deserve just means that you did something to warrant a response that you got. So yes, he deserved to die.
He deserved to die. Cool.
Yep.
I will go with that. He deserved to die in that situation. You set yourself up. I'm sorry. But the girl did not deserve to die. And it's unfortunate, but there is nothing that could change in that to protect the lives of innocent American citizens that are being evacuated from a building. And you can't plan for an accidental ricochet, just like you can't plan for every car accident. You can't, like, are you going to start everybody that kills somebody on the road because the squirrel popped out in front of them? Like, it's mind-boggling that this is even a major story in this, and I feel sorry for two things, and this is where I end. The family of this girl, I am very, very sorry. I do not feel sorry for Crump for having to be there. I think he needs to stop practicing law. And I also feel incredibly sorry for the police officer. This officer has to know the rest of his life that while he was trying to protect people against a crazy-ass dipshit criminal, that he killed a 14-year-old girl inadvertently. And the fact that he's probably going to have issues on the police force the rest of his career, or he'll be done. It's unfortunate. There's two victims here.
You know what bothers me is they immediately jump to the hashtag justice for ... with all these situations. And it's like, why? Like, she's going to get justice. I mean, the police department is going to have to do a payout like they always do. Whether it's even a justified or unjustified shooting, there's usually a payout no matter what. Not that a payout is going to justify her death because she didn't deserve to die. It was a mistake. But what is the whole justice for thing? Like, what are they protesting? That's what I don't understand.
That's a great question. Where is justice? What about the woman that got the shit beat out of her by this guy? Like,
she got a small portion in the entire article.
Like, what if he would have killed somebody? I don't think they would have cared. There wouldn't have been justice for that person. There's no when somebody dies of a ricochet bullet in Chicago right now, which is a war zone by all accounts of the people I am talking to. Like, there's video I am seeing from places I used to walk at midnight when I've been out drinking at the bars that just gunshots are firing in that piece of shit city at this point. And what happens on the ricochets and the people that get shot and killed there? Is there justice for them? Absolutely not. But because a cop was doing his job and unfortunately had a ricochet bullet kill somebody on accident while trying to protect people, justice for? Shut the front door.
Yeah, there's no reason for this. No reason. It's another way to attack police, to push the defund so they can federalize cops, and another gun grab. That's all it is.
It's horseshit. All right. Sorry, moving on. We got so much good news. Go ahead, Easy.
One last thing, which is if you look right now, the IRS is asking criminals to report their income. That includes stolen property. So I want to add that to the conversation, because if you're going to take guns away from police, then you weaponize the IRS. Now you have a whole new system in place that allows them to come in and take money from everybody, not just criminals. And that's a little obscure, and I understand that's a point that people maybe aren't going to understand entirely, but when you have criminals being asked to report their income, which has always been the case, but now they're hiring 70,000 new IRS agents, I think we can ask the question, do they want to de-weaponize the police and weaponize the IRS?
It's a great question.
Probably.
I mean, you're looking at what they're doing with PayPal, Venmo, I mean, all these different things. What they are doing whatever they can to, and it's not about money. They don't care about somebody who's doing massage therapy and pulling up $722 from them a year in extra taxes. They don't give a shit. They give a shit about the fact they have access to every friggin' thing that we have. I mean, whatever. Anyways, yeah, no, I agree. Suni, I see the picture you brought up. Let's end the show with that. So real quick, let's just talk.
Can we talk about cringe?
You want to talk about cringe?
Let's talk about cringe influencers.
All
right, go. Well, no, let's end on that. Let's end on that, because we're going to end with the cringe influencers and the Trump conversation.
Gotcha.
So we're going to group the three topics in together. Supreme Court mandate with OSHA it's all being the mandate is being heard on the 7th of January, which is a very big day. I'll talk about that in a second. I'll go through the article briefly. There is nurses and doctors. This is real. This is actually, I think, my most viral post I've ever had on Instagram. Nurses and doctors that are VE'd 5 days after a positive test that are asymptomatic are being allowed to practice medicine, but unV'd, no matter what, are not. Do we not see the issue there? And last but not least, in the world of vid, AOC decided to take a mini vacay while the Democrats talk trash about DeSantis taking a vacay when he was helping his wife get cancer treatments. And she was down in Florida, and Kayleigh McEnany made a really funny meme and joke. And Stephen King's response was, Kayleigh, stop being a dingbat, because she was making fun of the fact that AOC was partying maskless and in large crowds in Miami with her doofus-looking boyfriend. I don't understand. All these different things are pointing to complete and utter garbage. The only positive thing is the Supreme Court issue. What do you guys think about AOC and the nurses and doctors? And I'll look more at the article for the mandate.
I think the nurses and doctors thing is crazy. And if people don't see what's going on, like the other day I was reading something and it said something like, there's just overwhelming like traffic in hospitals and we don't have enough people to handle. And it's like, well, because you're letting them go because they're not vaccinated. That's why you don't have enough people to handle it. So, I mean, I just think it's getting ridiculous at this point. I hope that people are waking up to this. I hear that they're waking up to it, but I want to see people like voice their disgust with this, because at this point they're making a mockery of everybody with this bullshit. Like, if you don't speak up on this, you're allowing them to make you look stupid. That's what we need to do. We need to start banging on the doors of the hospitals.
That's facts.
What's that old
I
saying?
think it's
Silence is compliance.
Silence is
1 +
compliance.
1 equals 2. If there aren't enough nurses and doctors, of course the hospital's going to be overrun.
Duh.
That's crazy that you even have to say that to like functioning adults.
Yeah.
The hard part is how many people ignore it. They don't believe it. They don't think it's real. Like that's the part that's interesting to me, is like, if you present this information to somebody who doesn't want to acknowledge it, they'll tell you that you're wrong. And it's like, well, if a hospital is supposed to run at 90% capacity, that's a number based on the amount of nurses that are on shift, not necessarily the amount of beds available in the hospital. And people will lose their minds. Oh, you don't know. No, it's like, well, we do know that about like 30% of hospital staff has dissipated over the course of this year.
Due to the mandates, also due to just exhaustion. Nurses
everything
are done;
else.
they're over it. Yeah.
So
somebody argued. You're gonna like this, Easy. Somebody argued with mine. Not that they disagreed that it was fact. They actually said, this is the response. What you don't understand is that it's a fact that if you are V'd and asymptomatic, you cannot transmit the virus.
Shut up. You sound like Rachel Maddow.
What research study did you read? Madu or Manu, whatever the fuck your name is? Like, come on. Like, all I said was, I go, cool, can I see any data, research, statistic? And it was weird how quiet they got at that point.
I think you just have to ask Fauci. I think he can tell you.
Even Fauci, like, they're all talking about the fact that these don't work anymore. They're all admitting it, and they're talking about Omicron and actually even Dr. McCullough and Malone said that Omicron is different enough where natural immunity does not necessarily work. At the same time, it's a fucking cold. Like a bad cold.
There's a new variant, right? And I was reading all the medical studies. This is more resistant to the vaccine. I was like, so you guys literally got jabbed for nothing, because it didn't protect you from nothing.
No, you didn't. It actually was a great idea. If you got the jab, I would strongly suggest that you get every one of your boosters, all of the above, whatever it takes for us to stay on this channel for at least a week or two, Suni. Yes.
If you can, get one of each and then a booster from Moderna and Pfizer. Both of them.
Black, right?
Well, you know what?
I'll just scream racism.
Baskin. No, you know what? I want. What is it? Not Tom and Jerry. Ben and Jerry's ice cream. They could inject a woke strawberry cobbler ice cream and just have a whole bunch of Pfizer juice in it, and it'll be delicious. I would eat it. I think you should all eat it.
I think we should start a new hashtag, woke brutality. And
I'm just waiting for the GMO strawberries.
Bruh. There
like
already are GMO strawberries.
Strawberry,
Notice
those are
they
really
come
good.
out
Ones with
they don't even come
ones
out
with the
round
good
and
stuff.
plump anymore. They come out straight.
Do you
like,
remember
straight.
the article on local news, which therefore means it was actually like a relatively real story? I don't know. You and I didn't talk. You weren't on the show then. Several months ago, they were talking about how, and I believe as though the Gates Foundation was even involved in this. That might be my one not sure on. Creating a way to grow lettuce so that you could get your V's in a salad.
Yes, I heard about that.
Yo,
Yep.
These people are sick.
Yep.
I will stop eating lettuce.
Oh,
Try
yeah.
it.
Well,
Done. Done.
noodles it is.
If they put it in a semen smoothie, I am sold. Okay.
Forgot about that from last week.
That bitch is nasty, bro.
What?
You know what I have to say? Oh yeah, Easy wasn't there, but you know.
Oh, you missed it. Oh, it was amazing.
You know who would have watched that? Manu.
Manu.
You'd be like, that is a
Dude.
that is a vegan smoothie. I like to put the cream all over the face.
Okay,
so good.
okay. Listen, I have a very active imagination, and I don't want to be thinking about Manu and semen.
It's not
Oh,
semen.
man.
It's a soy sausage. It's a
Yes.
soy sausage with the cream, but not the
Soy.
vegan cream. Okay, done. All right. Last but not least on this topic, then we'll wrap up with I think Easy just had to hit the bong back there. I don't
He
know.
had to take a
Well,
break.
wait, we didn't talk about AOC though. Like, does
No,
anybody
go
even
ahead.
care? Does anybody even care that she's maskless? No, I don't
No.
care. What I care about is that she opens her big freaking horse teeth mouth to tell everybody else that they need to mask up. Like, they need to not even allow these people to go to states where they can be maskless.
Facts,
Seriously.
like you're
Right.
banned. You are
Why-
banned
like-
from Florida.
Yes, you
Go
shouldn't even
the
be
fuck
allowed.
away. You want
And-
what? How you?
And all the left heard last week was the fact, like the ones that are like the anti-DeSantis group, were the fact that he left his post, which was in his schedule, and it
Yeah.
was all about taking care of his wife with
Why do
cancer.
they give a fuck?
Yet
Like,
they
mine,
don't
listen,
give a like they don't even see the fact that like as they parade and I don't. Has anybody looked around lately? I'm in Texas and people are wearing masks in their cars again.
So stupid.
Okay. This is why we need to repeal the 19th, because women don't know how to mind their own motherfucking business, bitch. Why do you care what he's doing? Like, he's taking care of his wife. Well, you're maskless in a state that you complain about because of how lax it is. Does she?
And they have the odd. See, this
Can I
is the
take
other
her
thing.
job? I want to
It's-
be the representative of New York.
It's just like the nurse thing. They have the audacity, okay, to say all the shit they say and then go vacation in a maskless state and go maskless. And then all their supporters are like, AOC, we love you.
Hey,
You're a
If
bad
we ever
bitch."
run
And she's-
into these people, okay?
Yeah.
If you
Mhm.
ever run into her, you on site, you have to pull out the phone and ask her, so why are you in a maskless state? Why are
Right.
you in a state that is just so reckless and so careless about catering to COVID-19 and Delta and Omarion and all these variants? That's the question that people need to ask them. Why are you going to these states that you complain about?
And then you feed her some hay afterwards. Yeah.
Mr. Ed.
Which
Oh,
that
Mr.
actually
Ed.
that reminded me, I forgot, and we can't talk about it because I think that was the issue with the Q&A thing, but like more and more people under the age of 55 are dropping dead of heart attacks like crazy. Like
Mhm. We
it's
know why.
happening so ridiculously frequently. John Mark Valet, he's the guy that one of the Hollywood producers, 52, thin. They've cause of death was random heart attack. We all know what industry he's in, so what they all have to have done. And then there was the teen star, the kid star, that like it's happening. Here's the thing. Does it happen? Yes. Has it ever happened in mass like this?
Mhm.
No. Like it's one a year. Like remember that tragic one? This year it's like ba-ding, 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 ba-ding. Moving on. Supreme Court mandate, and then I'll have Suni wrap it up. So the Supreme Court mandate for those, because this really does matter to a lot of people. Actually, I was just talking to a friend of my mom's who works for the airlines, and obviously they need to know what's going to happen. So Supreme Court is to hear the vaccine mandate case on January 7th. They're fighting the Supreme Court against President Biden's federal vaccine V mandate. The Supreme Court has announced it will hear oral arguments on January the 7th. The mandate that the OSHA put forward to go into effect is supposed to be January 4th, 2022. It requires the employers 100 or more. We all know this. They filed for an emergency application for stay of agency action pending judicial review and petition. The Heritage Foundation, yada, yada, yada. Supreme Court agreed to hear the case, but the law still goes into place January 4th. So as of right now, it's technically a law for at least the next 3 days. The government has until December 30th to respond. Oh, wait, never mind. It doesn't go to law. Sorry, this is an older article, but explains it. So they have until the brief is due on January 3rd, which it did go through, which means everything is on hold until the Supreme Court hears it on January 7th. They each have oral arguments. I believe as though it's an hour apiece. And essentially that's it. We will know more on January 7th.
What do you think is going to happen? You think they're going to just keep like pushing it back? I don't think they're going to end up passing that. I don't even know why it matters, because every state's going to do what they want to do individually.
I'll tell you why it matters. Yes and no. So if they can get OSHA on, if they can block it from OSHA, what that means is if an employer does it, they are susceptible to, especially if they're in a state like a Texas or a Florida, if they want to do it and say, we want to do it out of safety. If there is a adverse reaction, or if there is somebody that loses their job, there could be lawsuits against the company. Whereas with OSHA, you're screwed. It is what it is. There's no workman's comp. There's none of the above, none of these different things. So it is a big deal on a federal level for that to get blocked.
OSHA is also completely detached. They are not an entity of the government. So they are allowed as a private entity to monitor private businesses while enforcing government policies. So it is the handshake between government entities and private businesses that allows them. And the question really is about medical status. And that is the issue. OSHA has never been allowed to get involved in medical status unless there's like injury on the job. And then it's usually an investigation that happens, to test blood and, make sure that there's not drugs involved or something like that. But OSHA itself really is there about cleanliness in the workplace, that they're there to enforce, specific business practices, including like HR practices, price, gouging. But medical stuff never happened before. So that's really what the argument from the Supreme Court is do we allow a detached federal entity to take over and imply on top of a private business?
Right, exactly. Okay. All right, Suni, take it to the house. Final topic of the day.
Can I just show this really quick? Because I think she's so gross.
What is it? We were sexually frustrated over her boyfriend's feet.
Bitch, nobody wants to F you.
Her boyfriend looks like the poor man's Prince. Is it not Prince William? But
he's got the Jesus pieces on. You know those Jesus sandals, the old school sandals we wore as kids in the 90s with the buckle on it, the suede.
Yeah.
Oh, Lord.
It's called
Nobody wants to have sex with you.
It's called a Birkenstock.
It's called a Birkenstock.
Yeah.
We call them Jesus pieces.
Jesus sandals.
Mm-hmm. I was it's us white folk refer to it's Birkenstocks. Easy had to run, by the way. So Easy, shout out. I know you didn't get to say goodbye. So all right, let's wrap it up right here.
Anyway, we're going to talk about cringe influencers that have been on my radar lately. And if you're on Instagram, you get a show from me, because I'm going to go after cringe. I'm going to do like Tyler, and I'm just going to go after these people just for the sake of getting their attention and stealing their audience, because I'm awesome and they're not.
So we have to add
like donkey of the day, Suni.
We have to add. Sorry, Mo. We have to. There's sorry Nancy. There's sorry Nancy and sorry Jerry. Now apparently we've dropped too many F-bombs during this show. Apologize.
I've been following you guys from the beginning, but I can't take it anymore because every time F-bombs start flying, I cringe. And I will tell you that a lot of people have stopped following you because of this.
Sorry, Jerry.
Sorry, Jerry. I miss you. I'll miss you. I apologize.
Yeah.
We don't swear all the time, but when we do.
Good Lord, split you.
We're all
Look at-
adults, right?
I thought we were.
Donald.
Well, I'm sorry. Listen, you have to watch this MAGA hat burn. I'm probably just gonna purposely put on a MAGA hat today to get on IG.
Hey, Donald Trump, this is Daniel McCarthy in Arizona. The world is waking up to your massive grift. Please stop with the smoke and mirrors with these audits. Stop with your fundraising. Stop establishment candidate endorsements. Stop pushing this gene therapy, the sauce. I hear you're coming to Florence, Arizona for another one of your do-nothing rah-rah session rallies. Well, I have an offer for you. I will give $1 million to the charity of your choice if you take 30 minutes of your stage time on January 15th and debate me or answer my questions even in front of your crowd. Think about all the things that you've done that you've not been held accountable for. You ushered in medical tyranny. You exploded our national debt. You relinquished our sovereignty with the USMCA trade deal. You passed more gun laws than Obama did with fixed NICS. You warned about election fraud, but yet you did nothing to prevent it, even after my team months in advance warned you after we were stolen from in the Senate primary.
Bruh.
Dude, first of all, okay, Jerry, turn away because I'm about to say something. Trump wipes his ass with $1 million. Okay, like I doubt Daniel McCarthy and Fog City Midge or MAGA Midge or whatever the hell you want to call yourself has $1 million. If they do, it's because they grift money from everybody who follows them.
Bruh.
Seriously?
So, wait, is he talking about $1 million when it looks like he's driving a 2004 Ford pickup?
Right?
It's got cloth seats. I mean, I've got no hate for it. It's not even. I just realized it's not even a crew cab. It's a king cab. It doesn't even have a full 4 doors, and he's talking about $1 million.
Suicide doors. What the heck?
Bruh.
Somebody
Listen, while I don't disagree with him
I don't either.
on his sentiments, okay? These are true things, and these are things that happened while Trump was in office. I don't understand what a 30-minute debate with Trump is going to do. Number one, Trump is media trained, okay? They know how to just completely not answer your question or move to the next thing. So what do you think you're going to get in 30 minutes for $1 million? And what question are you going to ask that he's going to answer?
Yeah, I guarantee you, he's like, I'm gonna do. It's not a debate. He wants to do an interview. He wants to do a true interview. He wants to do what Candace Owen couldn't. But the fact that he didn't even know the difference between a debate and an interview shows how inequipped he is to even have a conversation at that level. So,
have you ever seen their podcast that him and Maggie do?
No, I have no clue she existed.
I've never seen this guy.
It legit looks like, like when terrorists send you videos of people say they're gonna like they have him in that background. They have a flag in the background, and the person's that's exactly what their set looks like. It's crazy. These people are whack.
They are right-wing terrorists. I'll say it, allegedly.
Yeah.
You gave up on therapeutics and you push an experimental gene therapy. People are literally dying because of their trust in you. You enacted the lockdowns and you surrounded yourself with swamp creatures for 4 years. The January 6th protesters that came down to the Capitol, you set them up. Those people are being treated worse than.
Now, come on now. Now, I've been very critical of Trump these last 6 months, almost a year.
I agree with what he said.
But how you gonna say he set them up? Do you really believe Trump set them up? I don't think he did it all. I don't.
I don't think he did.
Dogs now. And these are your most loyal supporters.
No, they're huge supporters. Just want to put that out there.
Trump, you failed America. You're the most deceptive president in American history. And trust me, there's been a lot of psyops.
Who has Trump's accomplishments? Can we just name them off? Highest unemployment rate.
Yep.
Yeah. Employment.
Business owners went through the freaking roof. People made
home ownership.
I don't know what you're talking about. Home ownership. Opportunity zones. What are you talking about?
Every president has their flaws.
For the military. Yeah, but he did a lot of great things. And to say that he failed America.
The worst ever, the biggest side. Come on, man. I mean, again, I agree with a lot. We have the same issues. I think all of us have the same issues of the accountability. But to literally, first off, this is a joke. It's so that people can share his video of him, getting amped up and whatever. But there's a certain level of this to me, and I don't like going off on other influencers, but this seems like a grift to me. Like, it's just this is the term grifty. This is why people think that the right wingers or the conservatives are grifters and off their rocker and all that stuff. But again, I agree with 80% of his sentiment. But then when you go full blown extreme, like you're the worst psyop, you're the worst Swamp Creek, you're the worst, like
you're going too far, sir.
And you don't have $1 million. Like, let's
no. He doesn't. Ask his ex-wife. It's probably like got all his stuff tied up in a divorce settlement.
Ew.
He's getting a divorce. You don't say.
Okay. Yeah, well, because Maggie, Fog City Midge, swooped in and stole this guy from.
Oh, so she's a whole thought out here.
She's
and
she's a
TDS.
homewrecker.
Oh,
that's what I'm saying. They're homewreckers.
I'm definitely gonna talk shit about you now.
The terms and conditions of my $1 million offer to my website, www.demanddaniel.com.
Yeah.
I look forward to seeing you on January 15th, although I know you won't do it because you're a little bitch.
And why are you making this video?
What is this?
It is a Ford. It is a Ford.
Bro, this is so cringe. You got a flamethrower?
What? What did we just see?
I didn't know it was a flamethrower.
And the music.
Bro.
Wow.
This
I'm embarrassed for his soul right now.
Look at that picture. I don't know. What is he doing to the flag? It looks like he's
molesting
it. Are his eyes closed?
Justice for that flag, man. Like,
this is the cheapest.
Is this his website?
This is demanddaniel.com.
Oh, I gotta go to that.
Russo.
But
I'm gonna need. You said you don't like going after influencers. I'm gonna need you to go after this guy.
I don't want. I don't want to. I agree with him. I just think he's a tool. That's all. Like, I agree with a lot of
his.
He's cringy. I get it. Hold them all accountable. I agree. But God, he's just weird.
Wait a minute. He said Donald Trump must choose the charity of his choice from the following charity options. So he can't just of his choice. There's 3, 4, there's 5, 6 options he can choose from.
Daniel, what's his name? Daniel
McCarthy.
Daniel McCarthy. I don't even want to watch the video with sound because you look like a full-blown white redneck backwoods. Hey. I'm just saying. You don't fit that. You're just white. I don't tell you.
I didn't say backwood. I got my rip jacket.
He ran it over with the tire. Oh my gosh. I'm going on Instagram. I'm doing a whole stream dedicated to Daniel McCarthy and Fog City Midge.
You gotta tag her because she'll probably join because she's so thirsty for attention.
You can't tag her because she's gotten in trouble so many freaking times that IG is like, this person has
Sudi, you can't talk. You can't talk on that one.
What? Oh, I don't share false information. That's the difference.
What do you on your
I've never gotten that hashtag. Hey,
I mean, again, I don't disagree with 80% of what he said. It's corny. This
is some redneck shit. I'm sorry.
He doesn't represent us well at all. They've been fighting for election reform in Arizona forever, and they can't even accomplish that. Like, what makes us think he's going to do anything with this? Seriously.
I hope, and I pray.
What's this
don't
website?
Get this video. I hope they don't. I hope he better hope and pray they don't get this video or get wind of it because they are going to be relentless on the left.
Oh yeah,
they are not going to let this go.
I don't think that he's worth it to them. This guy's lame.
I'm not talking about the media. I'm talking about YouTubers that like reacting to this shit for fun.
Well, I think you should start the movement, Suni.
Oh god, this is actually pretty funny. His fridge is definitely on his porch with beer cans all over his yard. All right. With that said, I'm gonna share this. I'm gonna share the video, the 30 seconds that people are blaming me for the death of the legend that is Betty White. This was. Oh damn it! Here you go. I just saw Betty White. There you go. It has that capability. But I just saw Betty White pop into my Fox News thing up, and I was like, if she's fucking dead, I swear to God, She was doing an article. Thank God. Betty
She's
White is
evaded
still alive.
death for so long.
Still alive. But anyways, I just that scared me. I saw Betty White's name in a news break. I was like, nope, not today, Satan. But no. Yeah, I mean it's there. They have to send it off to a lab. Turns out it was the next day. Like, are you freaking kidding me? It's crazy.
You did it.
Apparently, I should have said not today or tomorrow, Satan, because that's what I screwed up. Oh, anyways, all right, guys. Final words, Mo.
Jerry, my apologies again. I'll never fucking do it again. I'll never fucking cuss again. I'm fucking sorry, Jerry. Fucking forgive me, Jerry. Just joking. Follow me on YouTube. Let's Talk Darling. Instagram.
How you gonna drop all the F-bombs and then be like,
sorry.
follow me?
I'm sorry. I needed to release a little bit after that video that we just saw.
Suni, go ahead.
He's like, you're never coming back on this show again.
2022 is a year of calling out cringe influencers. If you follow my radar and I see your videos like this, I will be reacting. You might even get a whole Instagram live out of me. And people just need to use their critical thinking skills from this point on. And I think there needs to be more unity. And I don't mean unity with any and everybody. I mean like-minded, critically thinking individuals, people that are not afraid to speak out. Now's the time for you to open your mouth. Because if you don't, the next 2 years, I don't even know how to describe the next 2 years. I just know people need to get vocal and vet these politicians. Don't just be voting because there's an R or a D. Figure out what they're about.
That's right. Amen.
Word. Again, guys, looking forward to meeting a lot of you guys this weekend. And yes, what Tony said, what's so wrong with the F word? You know, there is
Nothing, man.
Sometimes people like, if it doesn't fit into what they're saying, like there's some people I cringe. Like my dad stopped using the F word when I was younger, but when he said the word bitch, it was like, it was just evil when it came out. It was like, son of a bitch. It's like, woo. It's like the hyenas and say it again, Mufasa. Ooh. Like it was, that's what it felt. That's what it felt like. But like, there is some people that like don't know how to drop an F-bomb. Like the fact that I don't even notice how much swearing, like when Tyler joined the show the first time, the first couple minutes he was on, it was like, yeah, so fuck. And I was like, oh, fuck. Like it was just much. But then like once a lot of times that's a nervous twitch for people. And then sometimes it's just part of their language. If it ever is like absurd and out of nowhere, like I think we all know to monitor each other. But fact is, nothing this show was out of the fucking bounds of normal conversation. So
that's right.
We might bring back Concert Avengers after this Great American Summit, which I posted. There's going to be possibly some other stuff we're working on with big name guests, but that'll be in the future. All of which, make sure you go to hashtag. I'm going to put it in there. Hashtag BeTheChange.com. That's going to allow you to just join the page so that you'll get emails updating when we go to different places. If we have a live Rumble, if we've got our own platform that Casey's been working on, there was a glitch the first time, but I think we've got it figured out. All these different things. Make sure you just follow us on there. There's a link tree and all that stuff so you can find what we're doing because as we all know in 2021 and now 2022, it's not getting any better to find conservative or I don't even want to call it conservative anymore. I think that's the point. It's a freedom. It's freedom speakers. That's it. Truth speakers, truth seekers. That's the ultimate thing. So hopefully I will see you guys at the event. Remember to go to the follow the podcast. If you missed any of it, you want to hear the audio before things get taken down, hashtag BeTheChange.com/podcast. And if you like the stuff on the store, what am I wearing right now? I'm wearing the Follow the Money shirt. Suni's got to keep America, what is it? Sorry, Make America Think Again. I don't know what was going on. Make America Think Again. And then Mo, I'm going to hook you up with some gear when you come to the
I've
show.
Got a black shirt for Black Lives Matter.
No,
I got the black square. The black square.
It's that's why that squares out. It's the Crump sweater. You're wearing the Crump sweater. Yeah,
the Crump sweater.
Anyway, take it easy.
This is for all the Black lives that were lost.
Oh, God. For those of you still on here, I forgot, since we've got the group of our most of our group in town tomorrow, we'll probably be doing a live show in person with each other, either tomorrow night or on Thursday night. Probably bringing Barb along too. We'll see. So if you're around, stay tuned for that. We'll of course post about it. Maybe even send an email out. Cool. Take it easy. God bless and good night.